In this video, we visit Kristiansand, the capital of southern Norway, and check out 5 top attractions that you could do for free, so please stay tuned. When the sun shines, Norwegian families flock to the country's southern coastline. The family-friendly attraction in Kristiansand makes the city a top choice for the summer vacation. Norway's 5th largest city is less known among international tourists, even though plenty of people pass through here on cruise ships and ferries. There's ferry service from Denmark, and as of April 2022, there's a ferry liner that comes from the Netherlands. We also were sort of passing through, but we decided to stop in this town and check out and see what's there for us to do for a few hours.
Should we go to the fountain?
In the city square, you'll find the statue of Håkon VII, King of Norway, who was a World War II hero, and there's a really good movie about his experience during World War II called King's Choice. Highly recommended. I'll put in the description below where you can see the movie. Kristiansand is the largest city located between Oslo and Stavanger, so you can kind of get the lay of the land, so to speak. The city was founded by King Kristian in 1641. There's several ways to get here to this city. Like I mentioned, there's regular ferry service from Denmark and Netherlands now, and by train there's trains that run between Stavanger, which is 8 times a day, and there's 6 trains a day from Oslo, the capital. So there's plenty of ways that you can get here. The port has a lot of cruise ships that arrive here in the summertime, and it's one of the biggest cruise ships ports in Norway. From the cruise ship port, it's just a short distance walk to the town center and the boardwalk, and a lot of the attractions that I go over in this video can easily be seen and could get to from the cruise ships where they dock. Now, to get to the town center, you do have to park in a parking structure down below, right underneath actually here. But I couldn't figure out how to get there, so we just parked on the street. One thing about Norway is parking can be very expensive when you go into town, a bigger town that is. Now Matthew was walking around with that stick like he owned the place, and I wasn't going to try to take it away from him because he probably would have started crying and get all very upset. But we really enjoyed walking around this part. You cannot miss this cathedral that is located in the city square. This late Gothic cathedral was built in 1884, and the tower that you see there has an interesting story behind it. During World War II, when the Nazis Germans attack Kristiansand took place in the early morning of April 9th, 1940, the 70-meter cathedral tower was hit by some artillery, some shelling, which damaged the upper part, but however, this was quickly repaired. The present cathedral is the 4th church built on the site. Shortly after Kristiansand was founded in 1641, a simple wooden Trinity church was built. As the years progressed, and they built a bigger and stronger cathedral, but then that caught fire and burnt down in 1734, so then a new cathedral was built and completed in 1738. But then in 1880, a large fire that burned most of the city, which I'll talk a little bit more about that later on, burnt down the cathedral. So a newer one was built in 1884. One thing that's kind of cool about this cathedral too is that they have organ playing practice in the summertime, so you could come here and listen to the organ playing for free. And if you've ever been to a cathedral and hear an organ play, it's just really nice. Highly recommend it if you're here in the summertime. That building there on the right is Kristiansand Municipality building, and it serves a population of 110,000 people. What I found it quite interesting looking on LinkedIn about this government agency is that it employs over 9,000 people. So, they say Norway has a lot of high taxes, but there's a lot of social services that you get for free, and that in turn you have to hire a lot of people to do all the work that people get for free. Below you'll see the Fisherman Wharf, which I will talk more about it in a little bit, but I wanted to show how everything is really close, that you can easily walk and enjoy the afternoon, or maybe 1 or 2 hours just walking around the waterfront here in Kristiansand. There's a really cool water fountain that I'll go more into detail, the story behind that. And just a little bit further down, you see Fort Kristiansand, which was built just shortly after the city was founded in 1641. I like war stories, and there's an interesting war story about this fort, which I will explain a little bit. Kristiansand Fisherman Wharf, which I'm not going to even try to pronounce in Norwegian, is a place where actually fishermen used to bring their fish to the marketplace back in the old days. But since 1990s, the wooden framed buildings turned into restaurants where you can enjoy some seafood. Now, personally, my wife and kids are vegetarian, and I really don't care for seafood or mussels, so we just kind of wandered around. But it's just a cool place just to walk around and watch the boats come in, and in the summertime they actually have free concerts here you can enjoy. Oh, Matthew wants to get out. From the Fisherman Wharf, you can walk along the waterfront promenade, and you're met with this awesome structure waterfall, which was done by a Norwegian artist. To celebrate the 350th anniversary of the city, the artist of the name of Nupen was assigned to do a sculpture for this celebration. Now, the pools that you see below, they are already there at the time that he put in the sculpture, and the sculptures used about 70 to 80 tons of Swedish granite, and it was carved by Danish stonemasons. The park was officially opened by King Harald V in 1991. When the artist asked what this sculpture meant, he said that the water is the main thing and the stone will transport it, whatever that meant. But anyways, I'm not really into art, but I really found that this sculpture was actually really cool, and the kids enjoyed walking around, and I could see in the summertime how people will love to get in the water and play in those pools. Kristiansand Fortress was built in 1672 and was part of the defense of the city that was just founded a few years prior. The only time that this fortress has been in battle was against the British fleet force, led by HMS Spencer in 1807 during the Napoleon Wars. What happened was that one of the few remaining large ships under the Danish-Norwegian command, which had about 70 cannons, was parked in the eastern harbor of Kristiansand, and the SMH Spencer sailed towards the city and announced itself in a letter that if the Norwegian Danish ship does not surrender, he threatened to open fire on the city. Well, when the ships of the British fleet sailed towards the city, they were met by fierce resistance from the fortress, and the attack was repelled by mass gunfire, and the British sailed away and decided that they didn't want to mess around with this fortress anymore. Matthew seemed like he might have wanted to join those kids and climb up that statue of a bear, but he also had fun watching Dad fly the drone around. He's a little bit amused by that drone.
Where are we going?
We are going to Daddy's happiest place.
What is it?
What is it? I'll give you a clue. It starts with M. McDonald's? Yeah, I think that's where we might go. It's a nice.
Shame on you.
We're on a holiday.
Mom, Dad, you mean... are you sure you have the curve?
Yeah. Now let's see if we can find where we parked the car. The street. Right. There it is. The Posebyen Neighborhood in Kristiansand is about 10-minute walk from town center. Because we were heading out, we decided that we were going to drive and check out this old neighborhood. Kristiansand suffered a major fire in 1892, which destroyed most of this Norwegian town. Surprisingly, several blocks of small wooden rows of houses survived. This old town neighborhood consists of a grid pattern of streets and cobblestone sidewalks. Now, soldiers who used to live in these modest, one-story homes called Posebyen, and what that means in French, it means to relax and to rest. There's a lot of information on the internet about the houses and which one were the oldest. For example, like this house was built in 1855, and it housed more than 40 people in the house, including 15 soldiers in the attic. These are French soldiers, I think. And it's still in the backyard. It has a stable for horses. And now these days you could rent it and have parties there. So we really enjoyed our stay here, exploring this city. Anyways, if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you like this kind of content, we do a lot of traveling, please consider subscribing to our channel. Well, next week's video, we leave Norway, one of the most expensive places in the world, and we go to one of the most expensive parks in the world, Disneyland, and see if we could spend less than $100 on food there. So please join us.